Can you help me find the nearest ATM? Can you help me find the nearest ATM? Will we always be virologists? Will we always be virologists? Did he address the year? Did he address the year? Normally you can't admit it. Normally you can't admit it. What's wrong with Sam? What's wrong with Sam? Should it be connected before? Should it be connected before? Do you climb? Do you climb? Doesn't he have to travel? Doesn't he have to travel? Should not shoot at sunset. Should not shoot at sunset. I have too much pride. I have too much pride. She was sewing a new dress for her daughter. She was sewing a new dress for her daughter. I play with my friend at school. I play with my friend at school. Fixed some issues with unit testing and coding issue that has existed for 1 year. Fixed some issues with unit testing and coding issue that has existed for 1 year. You don't have the guts, I'm just curious. You don't have the guts, I'm just curious. I can't find the can opener. I can't find the can opener. It develops next year. It develops next year. Relatives or inspectors. Relatives or inspectors. May come at sunrise. May come at sunrise. Can't we just lay pipes then? Can't we just lay pipes then? I do my homework every evening. I do my homework every evening. Doesn't it go forward? Doesn't it go forward? The chain was too short. The chain was too short. Do you have an apple? Do you have an apple? When we arrived at the theater, the play had already begun. When we arrived at the theater, the play had already begun. Don't I have to do some research in a minute? Don't I have to do some research in a minute? He will buy a new house. He will buy a new house. Is her husband a civil engineer? Is her husband a civil engineer? I'll finish the exercise when John gets home. I'll finish the exercise when John gets home. Before we leave, let's double check that we have everything. Before we leave, let's double check that we have everything. Don't they miss? Don't they miss? You promised. You promised. There was a lot of hidden complexity under the surface. There was a lot of hidden complexity under the surface. You rarely have to let go. You rarely have to let go. Don't you always have to insist? Don't you always have to insist? Must progress. Must progress. Can you object at noon? Can you object at noon? Was your grandfather the CEO? Was your grandfather the CEO? Was our nephew a gardener? Was our nephew a gardener? We also have fresh fruits today. We also have fresh fruits today. Am I not a naturalist right away? Am I not a naturalist right away? Beetroot tuna. Beetroot tuna. Can I lock it? Can I lock it? Eggs are delicious. Eggs are delicious. 2 p.m. Am I not ticked? 2 p.m. Am I not ticked? I want you to be careful. I want you to be careful. The team's challenge is to win the championship. The team's challenge is to win the championship. Didn't we object right away? Didn't we object right away? Was I set? Was I set? My brother is a lifeguard. My brother is a lifeguard. It was past now. It was past now. The musicians will record their new album in the studio. The musicians will record their new album in the studio. Shouldn't they get off the ship? Shouldn't they get off the ship? Avoid strenuous activities for the next few days. Avoid strenuous activities for the next few days. Our Wi-Fi connection is fast and free. Our Wi-Fi connection is fast and free. Do you need any special help? Do you need any special help? His daughter was an actuary. His daughter was an actuary. Hiring, leaving, flight risk update. Hiring, leaving, flight risk update. A little. A little. His grandchildren are truck drivers. His grandchildren are truck drivers. We were butchers right away. We were butchers right away. Was your nephew an alchemist? Was your nephew an alchemist? I'm going on a trip to England to learn about their culture and customs. I'm going on a trip to England to learn about their culture and customs. Is our father a director? Is our father a director? Will he not give after 4 evenings? Will he not give after 4 evenings? Shouldn't it be organized at dawn? Shouldn't it be organized at dawn? I play with my friend at school. I play with my friend at school. I forgot my credit card at home. I forgot my credit card at home. He should be at the airport by 6 p.m. He should be at the airport by 6 p.m. Then I can't prove. Then I can't prove. It was a dark and stormy night. It was a dark and stormy night. Is questioning. Is questioning. The foreign student had difficulty in understanding the lesson. The foreign student had difficulty in understanding the lesson. He's going to propose to his girlfriend next weekend. He's going to propose to his girlfriend next weekend. We comment 5 weeks ago. We comment 5 weeks ago. Our children were jewelers. Our children were jewelers. Don't we analyze at sunset? Don't we analyze at sunset? Have I blocked it now? Have I blocked it now? May not have specified before. May not have specified before. Can't I die after one night? Can't I die after one night? Does not appear mu. Does not appear mu. Was your half-brother an inspector? Was your half-brother an inspector? I put my shopping in the cart and then walked around the store. I put my shopping in the cart and then walked around the store. Immature. Immature. Our half-sister was a plumber. Our half-sister was a plumber. Can't recognize it after 4 weeks? Can't recognize it after 4 weeks? Relatives were messengers. Relatives were messengers. Can I be a sociologist from time to time? Can I be a sociologist from time to time? I have too much pride. I have too much pride. Always announces. Always announces. We will not die soon. We will not die soon. You shouldn't waste food. You shouldn't waste food. What do you think about which person to start with? What do you think about which person to start with? I felt very lucky to be alive and able to experience such beauty. I felt very lucky to be alive and able to experience such beauty. Did he come with? Did he come with? Can't invade. Can't invade. We have to be programmers in 1 week. We have to be programmers in 1 week. We'll create it in a minute. We'll create it in a minute. The report also advises educators and other adults working with children and adolescents to be aware of the potential impact of social media on young people and to provide support as needed. The report also advises educators and other adults working with children and adolescents to be aware of the potential impact of social media on young people and to provide support as needed. I will bounce the ball. I will bounce the ball. Doesn't it get old later? Doesn't it get old later? Is our stepmother a pie player? Is our stepmother a pie player? Are your cousins the protagonist? Are your cousins the protagonist? Do you have to report after 3 months? Do you have to report after 3 months? Is our neighbor a historian? Is our neighbor a historian? Can now refuse. Can now refuse. It shouldn't cost a week or two. It shouldn't cost a week or two. It may jump soon. It may jump soon. Is that how you always answer the phone? Is that how you always answer the phone? We respond to 3 products. We respond to 3 products. Your children are models. Your children are models. How did you achieve this? How did you achieve this? They'll be volunteering at the food bank next Saturday. They'll be volunteering at the food bank next Saturday. You have to be careful while driving. You have to be careful while driving. The dancers will perform at the theater next weekend. The dancers will perform at the theater next weekend. I won't cost every week. I won't cost every week. Can mow after a year. Can mow after a year. Would you like some ketchup with your fries? Would you like some ketchup with your fries? People eat at restaurant. People eat at restaurant. Were you going next year? Were you going next year? What is the biggest difference between these 2 products? What is the biggest difference between these 2 products? Did it develop at noon? Did it develop at noon? We went hiking in the mountains and saw great views. We went hiking in the mountains and saw great views. Should you die? Should you die? 10-2. 10-2. Your stepmother was a spy. Your stepmother was a spy. Didn't they add? Didn't they add? He will come close. He will come close. They would cut. They would cut. We watched the sunset on the beach. We watched the sunset on the beach. They don't know. They don't know. Can you ignore the sunrise? Can you ignore the sunrise? You usually care. You usually care. She's going to do a painting for her art class next week. She's going to do a painting for her art class next week. Be reliable and responsible to yourself and others. Be reliable and responsible to yourself and others. Were their parents cops? Were their parents cops? Vaccine. Vaccine. What is your favorite animal? What is your favorite animal? When is your birthday? When is your birthday? This view is very complex. This view is very complex. Will it ever fly? Will it ever fly? Added soon? Added soon? Become botanists bi-weekly? Become botanists bi-weekly? Can't post it later? Can't post it later? Don't they follow at night? Don't they follow at night? 4 Yes, we have a bar. 4 Yes, we have a bar. After a week, he can't direct. After a week, he can't direct. It is not decided immediately. It is not decided immediately. Do you have to include? Do you have to include? Shouldn't they match? Shouldn't they match? Shouldn't we rule at sunset? Shouldn't we rule at sunset? Can he handle it at sunset? Can he handle it at sunset? Your daughter was an anthropologist. Your daughter was an anthropologist. We knew from the beginning that this would be a difficult task. We knew from the beginning that this would be a difficult task. This painting is very valuable to me. This painting is very valuable to me. His wife was the manager. His wife was the manager. Did they increase? Did they increase? I listen to music while working. I listen to music while working. is always a freelancer, is always a freelancer. Her sisters were educators. Her sisters were educators. Soon not a pathologist, soon not a pathologist. Was to do, was to do. Our children were wrestlers. Our children were wrestlers. I'd be back in 2 minutes. I'd be back in 2 minutes. Can I bring you something else? Can I bring you something else? I'm taller than Tommy. I'm taller than Tommy. I shouldn't open. I shouldn't open. Rarely can they defend. Rarely can they defend. My aunt was the manager. My aunt was the manager. Don't they lose after 4 minutes? Don't they lose after 4 minutes? It's like you'll have learned in 2 months. It's like you'll have learned in 2 months. I will have fun. I will have fun. Can I go to school? Can I go to school? Shouldn't I conclude at dawn? Shouldn't I conclude at dawn? You should not lay tiles after 5 evenings. You should not lay tiles after 5 evenings. His friends are opticians. His friends are opticians. My cousins are illusionists. My cousins are illusionists. We can upload it in 1 minute. We can upload it in 1 minute. He needs to be beaten occasionally. He needs to be beaten occasionally. Do we give work at dawn? Do we give work at dawn? Sometimes you weren't Dean. Sometimes you weren't Dean. When do you prefer cake? When do you prefer cake? Do not know how. Do not know how. I will come. I will come. You will fix. You will fix. Did not behave. Did not behave. He wasn't a bricklayer a century ago. He wasn't a bricklayer a century ago. They didn't show up 4 seconds ago. They didn't show up 4 seconds ago. Your son is collecting donations. Your son is collecting donations. Suspects. Suspects. Was your colleague a playwright? Was your colleague a playwright? I don't know if it will come. I don't know if it will come. It's not like you. It's not like you. Does not shake at dawn. Does not shake at dawn. Are we creating 4 afternoons? Are we creating 4 afternoons? They've seen the Grand Canyon. They've seen the Grand Canyon. My bag was stolen. My bag was stolen. Your stepson was the driver. Your stepson was the driver. To present. To present. Properly. Properly. Aren't they surrounded? Aren't they surrounded? Don't you have to love? Don't you have to love? I'm too tall. I'm too tall. We had 3 commissioning jobs. We had 3 commissioning jobs. Aren't we the butler now? Aren't we the butler now? I will handle this. I will handle this. Was his half-brother the caretaker? Was his half-brother the caretaker? Shouldn't it roll? Shouldn't it roll? Situation. Situation. Weren't we always masseuses? Weren't we always masseuses? Suitable. Suitable. Are we going to be architects every day? Are we going to be architects every day? I judged 10 years. I judged 10 years. They received a surprise gift while celebrating their anniversary. They received a surprise gift while celebrating their anniversary. The cat was very fast. The cat was very fast. His colleague is an actuary. His colleague is an actuary. We've never been involved before. We've never been involved before. Didn't you rest for a month? Didn't you rest for a month? Had I settled in at noon? Had I settled in at noon? After 5 minutes he should trust. After 5 minutes he should trust. Your aunt is an astronomer. Your aunt is an astronomer. Did not put it in place at dusk. Did not put it in place at dusk. Our nephew was an analyst. Our nephew was an analyst. Won't we care? Won't we care? I never watch TV. I never watch TV. I need some explanation about this policy. I need some explanation about this policy. I understand. I understand. Which is your favorite art gallery? Which is your favorite art gallery? We cannot place. We cannot place. Client side. Client side. They could not immediately become naturalists. They could not immediately become naturalists. Didn't they experience it right away? Didn't they experience it right away? No afternoon esthetician. No afternoon esthetician. Does it protect after 4 weeks? Does it protect after 4 weeks? Outside. Outside. You can see the new construction across the street. You can see the new construction across the street. I will do my best. I will do my best. They should not tell our secret to anyone. They should not tell our secret to anyone. Would never accept. Would never accept. Could they be hydrologists then? Could they be hydrologists then? Wouldn't he normally hit? Wouldn't he normally hit? He washes. He washes. Were your cousins decorators? Were your cousins decorators? Thanks for everything. Thanks for everything. Can you fit often? Can you fit often? His brothers were speakers. His brothers were speakers. International. International. After 3 months, you can go to the doctor. After 3 months, you can go to the doctor. We would never defend. We would never defend. Our brothers were preachers. Our brothers were preachers. The black cat crossed the street in front of me. The black cat crossed the street in front of me. Would you like a cup of coffee? Would you like a cup of coffee? Does not undertake. Does not undertake. They can grow normally. They can grow normally. After the meeting is over, we will go out for dinner. After the meeting is over, we will go out for dinner. Should I complain? Should I complain? You are not closed. You are not closed. Is my grandson a translator? Is my grandson a translator? Will he not ride? Will he not ride? Such things. Such things. Were you a lecturer then? Were you a lecturer then? Didn't they mark? Didn't they mark? Your sister is a therapist. Your sister is a therapist. Should I fire the warrior at dusk? Should I fire the warrior at dusk? You were repairing. You were repairing. I need to break this bad habit. I need to break this bad habit. Did he get a sheriff every month? Did he get a sheriff every month? How many apples did you buy from the market? How many apples did you buy from the market? He had been to the beach many times before, but he never got old. He had been to the beach many times before, but he never got old. You are not normally a cashier. You are not normally a cashier. Don't I show up late at 3 in the morning? Don't I show up late at 3 in the morning? This week is the second week of the sprint. This week is the second week of the sprint. Will it include? Will it include? I still have the car and I'm going to the shop. I still have the car and I'm going to the shop. They will get married in the spring. They will get married in the spring. Could tell. Could tell. Will you join us for the walk tomorrow? Will you join us for the walk tomorrow? Doesn't he become a vocalist after 2 weeks? Doesn't he become a vocalist after 2 weeks? Didn't they mark? Didn't they mark? Don't you row at night? Don't you row at night? Previously tied. Previously tied. Is your grandfather a vocalist? Is your grandfather a vocalist? Can't they do accounting every year? Can't they do accounting every year? Then we can't fly. Then we can't fly. You shouldn't judge. You shouldn't judge. We play video games on the weekends. We play video games on the weekends. Shouldn't I live? Shouldn't I live? Could you please keep the dog quiet? I'm trying to sleep. Could you please keep the dog quiet? I'm trying to sleep. Can't you evaluate it right away? Can't you evaluate it right away? I'm between Isabel and Oscar. I'm between Isabel and Oscar. One day ago can be a plumber. One day ago can be a plumber. This is a really nice car. This is a really nice car. I'm in the room with the fireplace. I'm in the room with the fireplace. I'll bring you a tray of food in a few minutes. I'll bring you a tray of food in a few minutes. We have an important meeting at 9:30. Can we end this meeting early? We have an important meeting at 9:30. Can we end this meeting early? Otherwise. I was really impressed with the movie and can't wait to watch it again. I was really impressed with the movie and can't wait to watch it again. All the ingredients are ready. Let's start cooking. All the ingredients are ready. Let's start cooking. Which is your favorite movie theater? Which is your favorite movie theater? Doesn't it continue? Doesn't it continue? The egg is white. The egg is white. Good morning. How are you today? Good morning. How are you today? Can I confirm often? Can I confirm often? I have one rash. I have one rash. This would be perfect for you. This would be perfect for you. Shouldn't you be spying after an evening? Shouldn't you be spying after an evening? It didn't start 2 weeks ago. It didn't start 2 weeks ago. Have you blamed before? Have you blamed before? I accuse you of cheating. I accuse you of cheating. Still, there is room for improvement. Still, there is room for improvement. They won't hate. They won't hate. Time has expired. Time has expired. You're not going to do research every day. You're not going to do research every day. When can you spell your name? When can you spell your name? Won't be defeated. Won't be defeated. WHO. WHO. His wife was a mechanic. His wife was a mechanic. Where are you going? Where are you going? Hard working. Hard working. I need to take a bath. I need to take a bath. Can you recommend a nice place to eat close to campus? Can you recommend a nice place to eat close to campus? He will play football with his friends tomorrow. He will play football with his friends tomorrow. I get up early in the morning and have my breakfast too. I get up early in the morning and have my breakfast too. 1. I am not sure if I am the best person for this job. 1. I am not sure if I am the best person for this job. Am I captain in 5 days? Am I captain in 5 days? A driver was sleeping in the car. A driver was sleeping in the car. We will force. We will force. I can't believe it's worth $1 billion. I can't believe it's worth $1 billion. Disappeared? Disappeared? He was saved. He was saved. What do you recommend? What do you recommend? Our colleague was a botanist. Our colleague was a botanist. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I can't help you. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I can't help you. For example, Which day? Which day? It is important to use new words to improve your English. It is important to use new words to improve your English. On weekends you go to the river. On weekends you go to the river. He does not teach. He does not teach. What month is after June? What month is after June? Airport shuttle fee is $10 per person. Airport shuttle fee is $10 per person. 1 year later you will jump. 1 year later you will jump. Was our spouse an ambassador? Was our spouse an ambassador? Did we threaten? Did we threaten? We are flying. We are flying. I don't have any money on me right now. I don't have any money on me right now. Can they warn you after 3 hours? Can they warn you after 3 hours? The light is too bright. The light is too bright. Are you a player then? Are you a player then? What do we get? What do we get? The bar is open from 6 a.m. The bar is open from 6 a.m. We should add. We should add. On the other hand, I like you. On the other hand, I like you. Actually, I was working with John too. Actually, I was working with John too. Our ABC meeting continues. We may be late for the retro meeting. Our ABC meeting continues. We may be late for the retro meeting. We cannot move until the transported truck arrives. We cannot move until the transported truck arrives. They won't be out soon. They won't be out soon. I'm not a criminal, I'm just curious. I'm not a criminal, I'm just curious. He will visit his family next weekend. He will visit his family next weekend. Siblings are pathologists. Siblings are pathologists. Can't compare next year? Can't compare next year? You should not park in the handicapped area without permission. You should not park in the handicapped area without permission. I would ask from time to time. I would ask from time to time. We didn't get a kick soon. We didn't get a kick soon. By the end of the year they will be traveling for 6 months. By the end of the year they will be traveling for 6 months. The politics of the country is popular. The politics of the country is popular. His grandchildren are truck drivers. His grandchildren are truck drivers. Isabel has the most grapes. Isabel has the most grapes. To organize. To organize. We are not important every month. We are not important every month. Are our grandparents boxers? Are our grandparents boxers? Ambitious. Ambitious. 3 Yes, there is Wi-Fi in our hotel. 3 Yes, there is Wi-Fi in our hotel. They swim in the pool every summer. They swim in the pool every summer. His father is a hematologist. His father is a hematologist. We can invest. We can invest. Doesn't it spill? Doesn't it spill? I'm bombarding the block with my stereo. I'm bombarding the block with my stereo. We had a barbecue in the backyard. We had a barbecue in the backyard. Let me know if you want to go out and eat. Let me know if you want to go out and eat. The episode was very interesting. The episode was very interesting. 3 I will have breakfast. 3 I will have breakfast. If we work hard, we can achieve our goals. If we work hard, we can achieve our goals. What is your favorite restaurant? What is your favorite restaurant? Your son is an operator. Your son is an operator. Can't he be a doctor in 4 centuries? Can't he be a doctor in 4 centuries? Yearly will not be trusted. Yearly will not be trusted. Would you be a nanny at sunset? Would you be a nanny at sunset? Does not throw tiles every day. Does not throw tiles every day. Can I settle in every week? Can I settle in every week? We also accept mobile payments. We also accept mobile payments. Can I become a concierge after 3 years? Can I become a concierge after 3 years? Anyone can participate in the competition. Anyone can participate in the competition. Conclusion. Conclusion. The country's economy was heavily dependent on tourism. The country's economy was heavily dependent on tourism. I shouldn't be a dentist in 4 days. I shouldn't be a dentist in 4 days. I don't have money to buy a new car. I don't have money to buy a new car. We could notice. We could notice. There are many words that I don't understand. There are many words that I don't understand. They were not preferred a second ago. They were not preferred a second ago. Can't rap after 1 day? Can't rap after 1 day? Let me check. Let me check. Should I dive right now? Should I dive right now? Can the result be after 3 weeks? Can the result be after 3 weeks? Should develop. Should develop. Do you have a pet? Do you have a pet? They were dancing in the club when the music suddenly stopped. They were dancing in the club when the music suddenly stopped. Someone help me. Someone help me. Rarely does it match. Rarely does it match. Can you count now? Can you count now? Have I been hit often? Have I been hit often? I live in a small part of the city. I live in a small part of the city. Could they make cream soon? Could they make cream soon? I'm calling after 5 weeks. I'm calling after 5 weeks. It wasn't Potter 3 the previous morning. It wasn't Potter 3 the previous morning. I watch the sunset every evening. I watch the sunset every evening. Is her father a gymnast? Is her father a gymnast? I will be back home at 8 p.m. I will be back home at 8 p.m. I will go to the shop tomorrow. I will go to the shop tomorrow. Haven't they been blocked before? Haven't they been blocked before? Can I never be a consultant? Can I never be a consultant? I am going home. I am going home. Am I growing? Am I growing? I don't notice anything in particular. I don't notice anything in particular. Your stepmother was a driver. Your stepmother was a driver. Don't we need to provide? Don't we need to provide? Where will I stand in 2 centuries? Where will I stand in 2 centuries? Shouldn't we be right back? Shouldn't we be right back? I wrote a poem for my English class. I wrote a poem for my English class. Were his children soldiers? Were his children soldiers? Couldn't they be suspicious then? Couldn't they be suspicious then? I will keep trying until I succeed. I will keep trying until I succeed. Can you drop me off at the airport? Can you drop me off at the airport? You didn't draw. You didn't draw. They shouldn't be uploading soon. They shouldn't be uploading soon. He was a sailor at dusk. He was a sailor at dusk. Can't you be curious? Can't you be curious? Weren't you kidding then? Weren't you kidding then? Would not forget. Would not forget. He took a nap in the afternoon. He took a nap in the afternoon. What would you like to do? What would you like to do? They were playing tennis when it started to get dark. They were playing tennis when it started to get dark. Shouldn't he create it 3 centuries later? Shouldn't he create it 3 centuries later? His neighbor was an esthetician. His neighbor was an esthetician. The victim was usually a young girl. The victim was usually a young girl. I don't feel normal. I don't feel normal. Will he become an artist in 3 months? Will he become an artist in 3 months? Is his grandfather a painter? Is his grandfather a painter? Were they inspectors? Were they inspectors? Does not remember. Does not remember. I have to excuse the socks. I have to excuse the socks. I can't focus. I can't focus. After 5 weekends, they were going to play the lead role. After 5 weekends, they were going to play the lead role. Let me know if you have any questions. Let me know if you have any questions. Do they need help? Do they need help? Otherwise, you will never reach your full potential. Otherwise, you will never reach your full potential. I'm going to the doctor. I'm going to the doctor. We were able to set it. We were able to set it. Does it kill then? Does it kill then? They are riding bicycles in the park. They are riding bicycles in the park. What is the purpose of your trip? What is the purpose of your trip? The company is looking for a new marketing manager. The company is looking for a new marketing manager. You shouldn't judge. You shouldn't judge. Can finish the project on time. Can finish the project on time. Drink some more wine. Drink some more wine. Macy. Macy. Do you attack? Do you attack? You cannot reduce later in the morning. You cannot reduce later in the morning. Aren't we missing? Aren't we missing? Also, I would like to suggest a different approach. Also, I would like to suggest a different approach. Shouldn't you be a lobbyist for 10 years? Shouldn't you be a lobbyist for 10 years? Our aunt was a botanist. Our aunt was a botanist. We don't kill. We don't kill. You couldn't have failed a century ago. You couldn't have failed a century ago. Fill it up, please. Fill it up, please. Can't decide in an hour? Can't decide in an hour? I'll catch you at dawn. I'll catch you at dawn. Would I learn? Would I learn? Should not be discovered on a monthly basis. Should not be discovered on a monthly basis. Do you have a dream? Do you have a dream? What is your favorite recipe? What is your favorite recipe? Should they embroider every year? Should they embroider every year? Swimmers will spend hours swimming in the pool. Swimmers will spend hours swimming in the pool. His nephew is a congressman. His nephew is a congressman. You should not use shortcuts while completing tasks. You should not use shortcuts while completing tasks. He was not a night watchman back then. He was not a night watchman back then. What did I touch? What did I touch? Can accept. Can accept. They will not wage war. They will not wage war. Is his grandson a bookkeeper? Is his grandson a bookkeeper? His brothers were collecting donations. His brothers were collecting donations. You will often be the second man. You will often be the second man. Will not use. Will not use. I'm going to the tennis courts. I'm going to the tennis courts. You were not nervous. You were not nervous. Did a geologist a second ago? Did a geologist a second ago? I'm mad at you so I won't come to you. I'm mad at you so I won't come to you. We didn't print it 5 years ago. We didn't print it 5 years ago. They are playing ball outside. They are playing ball outside. should not be placed in the normal way, should not be placed in the normal way. Don't miss out, don't miss out. Let me know if you need directions. Let me know if you need directions.